All right, guys, welcome back to II Knows. It's going to be our first mock draft of the upcoming draft. Well, you want to just get into it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with your number one overall pick. We're going to go pick by pick, talk about it. Next pick.
My first pick for this draft is the Arizona Cardinals going at number one. I got Nick Bosa going. He's the favorite to go number one, per se, and he's an animal out of Ohio State. And he took some time off, make sure to get his injury right. Didn't want to risk it. I think he's going to be a great fit, great scheme in there. He's going to be able to get after passer, and he's going to be just like his brother.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be just like his brother. He's a little slower. It's not quite as strong. I don't think he can play 3-4 D end or 3-4 outside linebacker. He's a 4-3 defensive end no matter what. And the Cardinals have a 3-4 system. And I think drafting him would be a mistake. You can't put him in there and expect him to be able to produce at a high level. He's got to be a 4-3 D end in my opinion. So I have them taking Quinnen Williams for the number one overall pick, and he should be able to fill the role that Calais Campbell played for them a few years ago. He's going to be a great player, all-around player, and I think he's going to be a great player for the Cardinals for a lot of years, I think.
All right, for the San Francisco 49ers now,
Mm-hmm.
I have Josh Allen going. He's from Kentucky. He's an edge rusher. I think he's the best player in the draft, and if he doesn't go number one, in my opinion, it's a steal, because I think he's going to be the one that has the best potential out of everybody in this draft, and he's going to really make this 49ers defense excel, because he's going to get after the quarterback well. He's going to beat these offensive tackles, and I don't know who to compare him to. I feel like he's going to be like a little Von Miller.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
what I was thinking. Maybe a little longer.
I think he's going to turn into a Von Miller type player, and he's just going to wreck games. 49ers get a big piece here.
Yeah, that's who I have the 49ers taking too. I think he's, like you said, he's great. He's long. He's athletic. He's got high potential, and I think he can get 10 sacks this season. And the 49ers need that, and he's going to step right in and be great for them. Unlike Solomon Thomas, and I called that. Just saying.
All right. So on to the third pick in the draft is the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I have the New York Jets taking Andre Dillard, Washington State, offensive tackle.
A little bit of a reach.
I think they go.
Well, debatably.
I think they go take Andre Dillard because they need the best the best pass blocker in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like he is the best pass blocker in this draft, and they need to protect Sam Darnold for the future, and for the current stages, future, whatever it is, he needs to be their franchise left tackle. Make sure nobody gets after this young quarterback, Sam Darnold, who they think is going to take him to the promised land.
Yeah, that would be a great pick for them. I could see it happening with Adam Gase being the new head coach, maybe them being a little more offensively focused. But traditionally speaking, the New York Jets are a defensively focused team, even though they have a offensive coach now.
Yeah.
So I have them taking Rashawn Gary. And he's someone who can play all across the defensive line, and him and Leonard Williams are going to be able to wreak havoc.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
Yeah, that'd be a great fit for him, I think.
Now, on to number 4,
Mm-hmm.
we have the Oakland Raiders. They didn't have the greatest season this year. They're looking at D-line, offensive tackle. They need a lot of things. And I feel like they're going to go out and get this Gruden grinder. You know who I think's the Gruden grinder that these guys need?
Who?
Play anything? Christian Wilkins. Christian
Okay.
Wilkins is going to come in, be the Gruden grinder that he needs. He's going to be able to do whatever John Gruden wants him to do. He's a winner in college, won 2 national championships, can play 3 tech, can play a wide 9. He can play him anywhere on this defensive line, and he's got the experience, and he's gonna give it all for his team. And that's why I feel like John Gruden really wants to see in a guy. He has great character. He's gonna get after it on the field.
Yeah, that'd be a reach in my opinion, but that is someone that I think John Gruden would fall in love with and take high. But the person I have is Nick Bosa. He fell from where you had him at 1 to 4, and I think if he's on the board at this point, the Raiders have to take him. He talked all year about they needed an edge rusher, and this is someone who's thought of as the top edge rusher by pretty much everybody. And if he's at number 4, they have to take him.
All right. Yeah, I fully agree. If he is there, you got to take him.
Mhm.
John Gruden's going to need an immediate impact player. Both Bosa players in the AFC West, maybe?
Yeah.
See him twice a year? I don't know, maybe. But on to number 5. It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
I have them taking Quinnen Williams. I feel like they're going to be able to cut Gerald McCoy, and they're going to have one of the best interior defensive linemen fall right into their laps, and it's going to seem like a great move in hindsight. And I feel like Bruce Arians is really going to mold this guy into the great interior defensive lineman in this 3-4 that he's going to bring over.
Yeah, I have the Buccaneers taking Greedy Williams, and Brent Grimes is getting older. Vernon Hargraves hasn't really panned out like they wanted. MJ Stewart and Carlton Davis, they were okay last year, but it's not anything you're gonna rely on for the future. And Greedy Williams, I think he's somebody that's gonna remind Bruce Arians of Patrick Peterson a lot. You can put him on one side of the ball, put him on one receiver. He's just gonna go out and be locked down and make plays for your team.
Yeah, I feel like Greedy Williams is probably one of the best corners in this draft, and he has a lot of potential, but his floor could also be very low and turn into a Justin Gilbert.
Yeah, he's not very technically sound quite yet. I mean, he's good, but he's a playmaker, and he's got all the tools that you need. And if you get him in with a good defensive coach like Todd Bowles, I think he's going to be great.
Yeah. At number 6, the New York Giants are picking. I have them taking Dwayne Haskins. They need a quarterback. It's probably going to be the best quarterback in this draft. Best potential. Might as well get somebody now. Not wait another year. Waste another year of Saquon Barkley, Odell, everybody that you have on the defense, because that defense isn't getting any younger, and the defense isn't even that good already. You have to get a quarterback right here if you're the New York Giants. I mean, I can see them not going quarterback right here and waiting till next year, but do you really want to bank on losing every game next year again? You got a new head coach. He's trying to win now.
Yeah, I also have them taking Dwayne Haskins. A lot of people are saying that Eli Manning could be the quarterback for them for another year, but that's just going to be a wasted year. And I really think that this team, this roster, and the coach, they're ready to win right now. And putting Dwayne Haskins in, that could be something that pushes them to the playoffs, getting a quarterback who's reliable.
Now on to the 7th pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. I have Jacksonville Jaguars. They need offensive players. They don't have any weapons, really. I'm not going to say they're going to go line. They're not going to go quarterback. They're going wide receiver. They're going with DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss. I feel like he's the best wide receiver in this draft. He can go get the long ball. He can run these short intermediate routes. He's a great route runner, physical at the point of attack. And it's somebody that whoever they bring in at quarterback in the offseason, I feel like they're going to go in and bring a vet, wait till next year, because there's going to be a ton of quarterbacks. Someone's going to fall. If they need to go and get somebody, they'll just trade up. So I think wide receiver here is their best pick, best option. Maybe they should trade down to get better value and accumulate more picks, but I feel like DK Metcalf is the pick here for them.
Yeah, trading down would be a good option for them, but Tom Coughlin, he's not the
we don't
guy.
we don't predict trades.
Yeah, and also, I think that would be a great pick for whatever quarterback is there, because while Blake Bortles is obviously a very bad quarterback, it's not like he had anyone to throw the ball to. I mean, there was Keelan Cole, but he's a number 2 at best. Yeah, I mean, he is what he is, and you can't force him into a number 1 role and expect that offense to perform at a high level. I was just talking about Tom Coughlin being a traditional guy, and I'm going against that. I have them taking Kyler Murray. I think this is going to be a year where they miss out on the veteran quarterbacks who are available. I don't know. It just feels very Jaguars of them to have all these
the money,
reliable options and just miss out, but or overpay for somebody. If that happens, that'll be Nick Foles. But I feel like they're going to miss out, and going out and getting an explosive playmaker like Kyler Murray who can extend the play for your below-average wide receivers and maybe mix in a little bit of option stuff with Leonard Fournette. Just out there making plays for the offense.
If he plays every game.
Yeah, they need a spark, and I think Kyler Murray is definitely that.
All right, we're gonna move along to the Lions, who had the pick number 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have them taking Clyde Farrell. I feel like he's a guy that the Lions are gonna need in this. What do they run? 3-4.
They run multiple. Yeah, they run a multiple defense.
So Clyde Farrell, he's able to come off the edge. Maybe you can have him play that DN spot, the strong side DN. Get some good pressure. He was probably him and Wilkins, I would say, were the best defensive linemen on Clemson this year.
Mhm.
They're both national champions. So Matt Patrician's going to want to bring in a guy on his defense that's had the success like he had with the Patriots, and he's going to want to bring in this winning,
mentality.
yeah, for the Lions overall, and they get a steal here because he could go top 5, top 10 though. It's a sure bet. Lions get a good guy here.
Yeah, Clelin Ferrell's he's pretty good. I'm not as high on him as a lot of people are because a lot of people are going to put him into the same box that they put all edge rushers into, that they expect them to be versatile in what they can do. But the reality is, certain edge rushers, they're either 3-4 outside linebackers or 4-3 D ends, and that's just what it is. They can't do one. They can't do the other. They're just that one. And I think he's most definitely a 4-3 D end. He could probably even play 3-4 D end because he's great stopping the run, and he's not really a great pass rusher. If you don't put him in the right situation, it's not going to work out. So I don't really like that pick for the Lions, but I understand it. That being said, I have them taking Brian Burns, someone who can, no matter what, be a fastball off the edge for them and get to the
5-star.
quarterback.
Yeah, he was a 5-star in high school.
Mm-hmm. And he's long and athletic, and yeah.
He might not have had the success that he was supposed to have at Florida State, but I guess that's what happens whenever you go to Florida State and not Virginia Tech. And
Well, he made the right choice going to Florida State. Florida State just didn't hire the right guy to develop him. That being said, he's
Bud
still
Foster.
very raw
You're
and
telling me Bud
very
Foster
good.
wouldn't have developed him into a top 5 pick?
Probably not, but
I mean, he got the Edmonds brothers drafted last year,
yeah. But
first round.
let's go ahead and move on.
All right, Buffalo Bills. I have them going offensive tackle. They're going with Greg Little out of Ole Miss. Another Ole Miss players off the board here. I feel like he's a project, just like Josh Allen was, the quarterback, coming out of Wyoming.
Mhm.
Yeah. They need offensive linemen. You got Josh Allen running around for his life. Sure, he's a great runner, but he's long. I don't think he's going to be able to sustain the amount of hits that he took this year over the course of his entire career. So you're going to need to protect him a little bit. Get that wherever you want to put him, right, left. It doesn't matter.
Him and Deion Dawkins can both flip flop.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a great role player for them. Maybe not an immediate franchise tackle,
Mhm.
but he can certainly develop into that with the right coaching and the right techniques that he can learn. Because he is also a former 5-star, but he hasn't had the greatest technique and greatest coaching, say, at Ole Miss, because Ole Miss doesn't really produce great linemen.
So I like your pick with Greg Little coming to the Bills. He needs protection. Josh Allen needs protection and help along the front. But I have them taking DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss. And NFL front offices are going to see the Rams and the Chiefs and everything they've done. And they're human too, and they're going to forget, you need someone to protect those guys. They just want to see the explosiveness. And everything you said about him when we were talking about him with the Jaguars is true. He's going to be explosive, and the Buffalo Bills don't have any receivers. They need somebody, and I feel like that's a good fit.
Yeah, certainly. Now we're going to move on to the 10th pick, Denver Broncos. I have Byron Murphy going there because Chris Harris Jr., he's getting old. You saw last year the Browns, whenever they played the Browns, they were down to what? 3 corners?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had 3 corners that game. They had Justin Simmons coming down to play corner. They need depth. They need to go out in this draft, get a guy who I think is similar to Denzel Ward. I think he's Denzel Ward West Coast. He may not be the longest guy, but he's quick, he's fast, he's a great ball. I wouldn't say ball hawk, but I'd say he sticks like glue.
Yeah.
He's a glue player. You put him on some guy, you're not testing him. So I got them taking not Denzel Ward, Byron Murphy out of Washington.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really great player. But I've seen from him, he's mostly a slot cornerback, but I haven't watched that much on him. So he might rise for me later throughout this process. But I have the Broncos taking DeAndre Baker for basically the same reasons. Chris Harris Jr. is getting older. They don't have a lot of depth. Bradley Roby's going to be a free agent. You're going to need somebody to play alongside of Chris Harris Jr. in his final years. And DeAndre Baker is someone who really reminds me of Chris Harris in where he can just take one side of the field and lock it down. He's not the biggest guy, but he's got speed and he's got the tools to be a lockdown cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, he definitely does. I feel like he's a little too slow, and you go against Tyreek Hill in this in this division. You go against Mike Williams, Travis Benjamin, Raiders. I mean, they don't have anybody right now, but you're gonna have to. That's who you're chasing right now. You're chasing the Chiefs. They just went to the AFC championship game. You're chasing them. They just won the division. You got to stop Tyreek Hill, and they get a guy that I feel like they're gonna need to cover.
Yeah.
At number 11, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. I have them taking Jonah Williams here. I feel like he slides a little bit. Bengals, they jump the gun, they pull him, they get him, and he's a plug-and-play guy. Yeah, you don't really go against the strongest D linemen. Sure, you go against some edge rushers, but they're mainly 3-4 defenses in this.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's going to be able to excel for a good bit here, since they're not always a strong. Sure, you got Myles Garrett, you got T.J. Watt, you got Terrell Suggs, but I wouldn't consider them loads.
Myles Garrett.
Maybe Myles Garrett, but
Yeah.
he won't line up there every time.
Yeah, T.J. Watt and Terrell Suggs. T.J. Watt's good, but he's not an elite rusher.
Yeah.
And Terrell Suggs, he's like 80 by now.
Yeah, he's shown he's not as strong as other tackles in this draft class, like we saw against Clemson, where he got ate up a little bit. He's got great recovery, and I feel like he's going to be able to handle these speed rushers in this division.
Yeah, I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking Devin White, and he's going to be someone to lead this Bengals defense into the new era without Marvin Lewis. I think they're going to look to really. I think this year Zach Taylor is going to try to establish his culture and just completely change everything the Bengals have done for the past 20 years, and in the past 5 years we've seen the Bengals get very sloppy in the way they play. And Devin White's someone who can kick out Vontaze Burfict, who's been part of the problem, and be a very solid sideline-to-sideline linebacker. And he seems to be a very good leader and just a good kid.
Yeah, I like Devin White. I think he's the best linebacker in this draft. He's the sideline-to-sideline guy, fills gaps efficiently, can go and make a play on the ball if he has to, play in space, can go out into the slot, make a tackle on screens maybe. He's going to be great. He's going to be a great player no matter what team picks him, because he's going to fit. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. I have them going corner here, and they're taking Greedy Williams. He fell a little bit after Byron Murphy got taken in front of him. Packers, they jump on this. They think they're going to get a steal here. Yeah, and there's a lot of risk with this pick, but they need secondary help. They've shown it again this year. Jair Alexander, he's great, but outside of that, Josh Jackson didn't really show much. Everybody else didn't really show much. They had to go out, get some wily veterans to go and help them out. Second safety position was basically irrelevant after HaHa got traded. Put Greedy at safety if you really want to. Put him at corner. It doesn't matter. He's gonna
make a difference for that team.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make a difference. They need help, and I feel like Greedy Williams is going to give them the best help out of everybody that's left.
Yeah, for the Packers, I have them taking Ed Oliver. He falls a little bit, but he fills the 3-4 defensive end spot perfectly. He's about probably 280, and he's got the perfect size. And they need a pass rusher. Doesn't necessarily have to be an edge rusher. Whenever someone hears pass rusher, they automatically think of the edge guys. Ed Oliver is somebody who can be like Aaron Donald, and
yeah, he's undersized. He's very undersized.
He can make a big difference on the inside, on the pass, and I think this is a steal for the Packers, and he's gonna be great for them, and
he's gonna flourish. Yeah,
he's gonna make a difference year one.
All right, on to the next pick. It's the Miami Dolphins. I have them taking Montez Sweat out of Mississippi State. I have them taking Montez Sweat because he's an edge rusher. Cameron Wake's getting up there in age. They're got Robert Quinn. This D-line doesn't make any sense.
They have Charles Harris.
Yeah, but
he could be something.
Cameron Wake's going to get cut, I feel like, in this offseason. Robert Quinn's not going to be able to fill the void. And they need to go edge rusher. I know there's been talk of quarterback. Maybe they could go linebacker, corner. I don't see it. I see D lineman because you see how impactful the defensive line can be in this NFL, and teams rely so much on their defensive line, and they need somebody to be the next Karen Wake. And I feel like they get the next Karen Wake here. May not be a scheme fit, but great edge rusher.
High praise for Montez Sweat, next Cameron Wake. Well,
So they want him to be.
reports are that Ryan Tannehill was going to get cut out of Miami, and personally, I think that they should stick with him one more year and get a guy next year, because it seems like everyone's trying to get their guy right now, and next year's a pretty good quarterback
Very
class, and it just seems like everyone's going all in right now. So I think they should have stuck with him, but nonetheless, Brian Flores is in. He wants his guy, and I have them taking Drew Lock, the quarterback out of Missouri, and I think he's somebody that's going to just mesh well with Brian Flores. He's got a great attitude, and I think he might remind him of Tom Brady a little bit as far as not play style, not play style or
And mentality.
abilities, but yeah, mentality. Just chip on the shoulder, that type of guy. I think he's got that in him, and I think they're going to go out and get the guy that they're going to be happy with for the next however many years.
All right, on to the next one. We have the Atlanta Falcons, and I have them going with Ed Oliver. I feel like he's going to be able to fill in where Grady Jarrett was. I don't think they re-sign him because they feel like someone's going to fall to them that can play that spot where Grady Jarrett played, 3-tech, 5-tech, whatever you need him to play. He's undersized, like you said. You made great points about that, and he's going to be feisty. I feel like Atlanta is going to give him. Well, they're going to get everybody back. They're getting everybody back, and new defense coordinator. I feel like this is going to be the defense coordinator. Is my guy. He's going to have high praise for him. Maybe he doesn't have a great, what's the word? He may be a little,
Erratic?
yeah, may cause some locker room problems.
Yeah.
But
He could be a locker room issue. He's shown that ability at Houston.
yeah, so I feel like this is why he slides. But Atlanta, they got a guy that falls. Everybody keeps falling in this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, Atlanta, I have them taking Clellan Ferrell. He's defensive end out of Clemson, like you said before. Vic Beasley, he hasn't really been great. Takk McKinley, he's been a good pass rusher, but he hasn't really done anything else. He had a little bit of off-field so far this offseason. And Clellan Ferrell, someone who can just step in and make an immediate impact. While I think he's at his ceiling, he's still a very good player, and he's going to be a good player for the Falcons. Reliable, and maybe Vic Beasley and Takk McKinley can rotate a little bit, but it gives them a lot of options off the edge, and it gives them someone that they can rely on to make plays consistently.
Yeah, he definitely has a high floor, and Atlanta, they're going to need a high floor for next year because I feel like they're going to try and make that push immediately out off of this horrendous season that they had, and they're going to try and come back. Now it's on to your Washington Redskins. There's been a lot of talk. What are they going to do? Are they going to go safety, linebacker maybe, wide receiver maybe,
Yeah,
quarterback?
they could.
Well,
They could do whatever,
I have-
everything.
I have Dan Snyder making a Dan Snyder move. For Washington Redskins, they get quarterback Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder, he believes that Redskins need sell tickets. Like they sold tickets all year, wasn't very good.
Yeah.
You saw ticket sales were down a lot, probably a lot worse than over the past years.
It was the worst ticket sales for the Redskins ever.
Yeah, and they're gonna go and get a quarterback that's gonna sell these tickets because they need to make. Dan Snyder's all about that money, baby. He needs that money.
Yeah.
But aside from Dan Snyder,
He could just sell
We're-
this new yacht, but
we're gonna say football.
all right.
I feel like Dan Snyder, no. Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden's gonna feel like Kyler Murray's a more stable RG3,
I don't know about that one.
and since The Redskins have a great line
He didn't know how to use RG3. Why would he know how to use Kyler Murray?
because Kyler Murray's he's a different species. He won the
Alright.
Heisman like RG3.
I was about to say, RG3 did too. He's shorter than him.
You're gonna see Jay Gruden get very creative with Kyler Murray, I think, and there's a lot of things you can do with Kyler Murray. You can run him with the read. You can give him
Mhm.
quarterback draws, let him throw it deep. He's got a great arm, baseball player. I feel like he turns into a Russell Wilson. Jay Gruden, you got yourself a guy here.
Well, if that were to happen, you know, cool, I'd be happy. But I don't think if we were to draft Kyler Murray, that would be the scenario. But I have us taking Daniel Jones out of Duke. He's
Pocket passer.
yeah, he's someone that Jay Gruden has proven he can make a system around. Andy Dalton, he reminds me of Andy Dalton a lot.
Oof.
And I think that's the floor for him, though. Andy Dalton right now, Andy Dalton's ceiling is Daniel Jones' floor, in my opinion. And I think Daniel Jones can be a very good quarterback for many years. He doesn't have the biggest arm, but he's very accurate, and he's deadly in the intermediate range.
Yeah, I could see them going with Daniel Jones if Kyler Murray's off the board, but he isn't in your draft, so I feel like you're just a hater of mobile quarterbacks now. RG3 just scarred you for life.
I liked RG3.
I feel like he just scarred
I
you
feel
for
like
life.
I feel like we should have given him more time, but I'm just not a fan of Kyler Murray that much for the Redskins.
All right, at 16.
You said I have Kyler Murray still on the board. I had him go to the Jaguars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oops.
Oof. Okay, well, we're on to number 16. Pick 16, the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
They could go outside linebacker right here. Devin White's still on the board. Devin Bush is still on the board. They could go safety. Deontay Thompson, Nasir Adderley. They could go offensive tackle, maybe even wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
maybe quarterback.
Highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. I have them going defensive end. Rashawn Gary filling in for Julius Peppers. Maybe not the ideal edge rusher
Mm-hmm.
in that system, but he's going to make a difference. He fell this far. Panthers don't want to give up this value. They don't want to see somebody else maybe in their division go out and take him if he falls even further.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, if Rashawn Gary was there, they would absolutely have to take him, and Dolphins probably should have taken him in your mock draft, but
You got Montez Sweat.
yeah. He'd be a great player. Like you said, not really a perfect fit, but when a player like that's available, you got to take him. So, that would be a great pick. But I have them taking another faller in Jonah Williams. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need a left tackle, and they learned the hard way that Cam Newton just can't get hit every play like he has been because now he's out for the year. And Jonah Williams, everything you said about him, it's pretty accurate. I think he could have a little bit more issues at the NFL level, but nonetheless, a lot of people see him as the most polished offensive lineman, and Panthers go and get themselves a potentially franchise left tackle.
All right, now on to the Cleveland Browns. There's been a lot of speculation with what they may do.
Mm-hmm.
They had a great season this year. Freddie Kitchens is now in charge. Probably going to see the same offense, but everybody now has a different mentality. They believe in the system. They believe in Freddie,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to go out and protect Baker Mayfield. He's great running around in the backfield with the ball, slinging it deep, but he's not going to be able to do that in his entire life. Go get a younger guy, get a left tackle, guy that's going to start day one, fill a void. They're going to go out and get Jawan Taylor. They're going to go
Okay.
get a guy that's a technician on the offensive line.
A little bit of a reach.
He's a great technician on the offensive line, and I feel like he's a day one starter and a guy that will fit the Browns' needs efficiently.
Yeah, everything you said about the Browns heading into next season is accurate, and for the first time in my life, the Browns have a coach that all the players believe in, so we'll see what happens with that. But I have them taking Andre Dillard, and that's my top tackle, my top offensive lineman in this draft because he's somebody that he's not going to give up many sacks at all, and he's good enough in the run game to be able to make it work. And in Freddie Kitchens' zone blocking, run game, he's going to be a perfect fit for the Browns, and he's going to be a franchise left tackle. And I think he could be just as good as Joe Thomas was for them for years.
Yeah, they would certainly need it.
Yeah, that's a steal for them.
Yeah, but you didn't like Andre Dillard to the Jets? Did your top offensive lineman
Yeah,
to the Jets?
I mean, for me, Rashawn Gary was there, and
All right, well, we're going to go ahead into my team's pick, the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that's fallen.
Yeah,
He's a linebacker.
yeah.
Anthony Barr, you're gone, buddy. We don't need you no more. We need a guy that's going to show up every game, give it his all, play sideline to sideline better than what you ever did, and he can fill gaps better.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go out. We're going to get Devin White. There's certainly a lot of offensive line problems, but this is a Mike Zimmer move. This is a move I see the Vikings doing because they're gonna think that there's enough offensive linemen in this draft that will fall, which probably won't happen, as we saw last year. But they're not as far down as they were last year, so possibly, maybe they're gonna have to trade up in the second round if they want to go get an offensive lineman. But value here is far too great. You can't pass up a talent like this. He's the best linebacker in this draft, and he's got great hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at the combine, you're going to see him really display his athleticism. He may not be a tall athlete, but he is certainly an athlete. And Vikings go out, get a franchise linebacker, play anywhere on the field.
Yeah, that's a very Mike Zimmer pick. I think he's going to be a great player if you guys were to get him, but either way, I think in a year you'd be regretting it because you'd have another season with
No line.
no offensive line, and
Yeah.
I have them taking Cody Ford,
I wouldn't be mad.
a guy who can play every position on the offensive line at a very, very high level, and
But is he zone block?
he can.
Good.
Cody Ford can do whatever you want, really, and he's probably the first or second best offensive lineman I've room right there with Andre Dillard because he doesn't pass block quite as well as Andre Dillard. I don't think anyone in the past few drafts has pass block as well as Andre Dillard, but he's great all around. He's going to be a plug and play right there at left guard and completely transform your offensive line. I think he's that type of player.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I would be all for it. Any of these offensive linemen that, well, I don't really want Yanni, but aside from that, any of these offensive linemen, guard, tackle, whatever it is, we need it. So I wouldn't be upset with that. Now we're going to go on to the Titans, who are picking at pick 19.
Mhm.
I have them taking Ja'Kai Polite, edge rusher out of Florida. I have them taking Ja'Kai Polite because I feel like they need more pass rush. Sure, they got Harold Landry last year, but Jarrell Casey's getting older. I don't even know who plays the other D end.
Brian Radko
Radko.
retired.
Yeah, he's retired. I don't even know who plays the other end.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're
Their outside linebackers are Derek Morgan and was Brian Radko, but now Harold Landry's going to be a starter next year.
so now you're going to be able to have Jarrell Casey probably move back inside
Mm-hmm.
and have Ja'Kai Polite play on the strong side, play as
So you have him as a 3-4 D end?
what else would he be? Outside linebacker.
Yeah. That's what I see him as.
Yeah.
Outside linebacker, D end, 4-3 D end.
Move Casey inside, put him as a strong side. Harold Landry on the weak side.
Mm-hmm.
You got yourself a formidable pass rush, formidable front four. I guess.
Yeah. That would be a great pick. Brian Radko, he retired. Harold Landry, he was picked last year, but he didn't really change much for them. I mean, he got a few sacks, he helped out a little bit, but it's not like the pass rush became a strong point or even wasn't weak.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have them going on the offensive side of the ball. I have them taking Marquise Brown.
Hollywood.
And you saw some stagnancy in the Titans' offense last year,
Yeah.
unless Derrick Henry had a huge game, and there was definitely no explosiveness. And Marquise Brown is the type of guy who can change the way an offense runs. And if Marcus Mariota can get him the ball, I think he's going to be open plenty, and he's going to be able to make plays for this team. And I think he's going to be a great addition to the Titans' offense.
Now the real question is Marcus Mariota going to be healthy?
Yeah. That is the question.
That's an even bigger question because
Yeah.
this dude is I think it's about ready to call him a bust. I'm about
Yeah.
ready to call him a
Yeah.
bust. Well, aside from hating on the Texans, let's move on to the next pick. We're
The
gonna
Titans.
yeah
Yeah.
Titans. I can't talk today. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Next, Pittsburgh Steelers at 20.
Mm-hmm.
I have them going with a guy that's gonna take over Ryan Shazier's spot because you've seen how they missed him. They're not the same team on defense. Sure, they have better corners now. They have better pass rushers, but they need this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He brings a lot of heart. He brings a lot of energy. He brings a lot of secureness that you know you're gonna get with him. That you can play him day one, have him get about 90 to 100 tackles in a season. He's gonna stay healthy, and Steelers, you get a great pick here. A guy that you're gonna need for the future. A guy that you've missed. Well, not missed, but a position of need.
Yeah. So I see in my writing I kind of messed up a little bit and had DeAndre Baker being selected again, but
It's Byron Murphy.
yeah, I
He's-
forgot to change that up. Byron Murphy is the guy that I wanted them to take. I think he fits perfectly with the Steelers the Steelers defense. And you're pointing out to me that I have the Byron Murphy to the Eagles, but yeah, I forgot to change that too.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Byron Murphy be a great addition to the Steelers defense. Artie Burns, he got torched all year last year. He had a good year the year before. I thought he could step up to that, but he didn't. And Joe Hayden, he played pretty good, but he's still older. He's still regressing. And Byron Murphy, like you said, he's one of the best corners in the draft, and he can go out and be locked down. He can play slot, and he's just someone who can. He's the type of guy who you can put on one receiver, have him follow the whole game, and you're not going to have an issue.
Of course. I agree. I feel like he can be the best corner in this draft class. I feel like he's head and heels better than DeAndre Baker. I'm very high on him. So Steelers get a guy like this.
Yeah, I think
It's great.
all three of them are great. I just have Byron Murphy falling because of needs for teams.
Now we're on to pick 21, Seattle Seahawks. Earl Thomas, he's probably going to be gone this offseason. They're going to need to fill his void at safety. I'm going to go and have them take safety out of Alabama, Deontay Thompson. He didn't perform well in the national championship game, but if you don't look at that, you look at all the tape. He played great for Alabama. He's a great safety. He can go hit hard, can make plays on the ball, plays great zone, and he's going to fill in a void for Deontay Thompson. He's a winner. Pete Carroll's going to want a winner on his team, and a guy that's going to bring in this championship mentality. A Pete Carroll type guy. Feel like it's a great void, a great fill for the spot that they need to fill.
Yeah, and I have the Seahawks taking Christian Wilkins out of Clemson. You had him take the Raiders, correct, at number 4. So, he's got high-end potential. He can be a very, very great player. I think he can fill the Michael Bennett role maybe a little bit if he were to lose a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Don't get the shoulder pads, though. Don't get the shoulder pads.
But, yeah, Christian Wilkins is a very good player, and this is a spot that the Seahawks have been swinging on a lot recently, and they haven't really hit on a guy to make a big difference, and I think Christian Wilkins will be the guy to finally do it.
Yeah, I agree. He would be a great fill-in for this team. They're getting younger on defensive line. Got rid of all the old guys pretty much. They still got Frank Clark there. He's great, but they're going to need more depth, I feel, and this is a great depth fill for them. Next team, at number 22, I got the Baltimore Ravens. There's a lot to say about the Baltimore Ravens. Could get some safety help? Eric Weddle, he's getting up there in age. Could go offensive line. You saw how Lamar Jackson wasn't protected very well in that wild card game.
Yeah, sometimes. They need a guard.
Maybe even running back. But what I think they need the most, wide receiver. And they're going to get a great fill here. A great guy that It's fast, speedy, can have Lamar Jackson throw him the deep ball if it's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He's feisty. Got them taking wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown out of Oklahoma. I feel like he would be a great fit in this offense. Kind of reminds me of Percy Harvin.
I don't see it, but I guess. The one person he reminds me of in the past few years is what John Ross was supposed to be. But,
He's gonna run a great 40.
mm,
If he runs a great 40, maybe his value goes up more. But he has great hands. Showed that with Kyler Murray. You saw the Oklahoma's offense. They did a lot of things with Marquise Brown. And who's the offense coordinator now with the Ravens?
Greg Roman.
Yeah, Greg Roman.
Mhm.
I feel like Greg Roman's gonna be a great mentor, and
Yeah.
a great guy to get him where he needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Greg Roman's going to be great for this offense. He's going to really be able to expand what Lamar Jackson has been able to do and what he will be able to do in the future. He's the guy who kind of propelled Colin Kaepernick into being a good quarterback. And everything you said about them needing a lot on the offensive side of the ball specifically is very accurate. And I also think wide receiver is the biggest need for them. So I have them going to get a guy in Deebo Samuel. And I think this is somebody who's really going to rise up boards. And he's fast, he's strong, he's athletic, he can run good deep routes, he can make plays in open space, he can get the short balls and take them the distance. He's a great all-around wide receiver. And I don't think there's another receiver like him in this class. I think DK Metcalf is a little bit better because he's just so great at what he does, but Deebo Samuel's the most all-around player in this draft class. And one person who's falling, and people are probably wondering where he's at, is N'Keal Harry. I think he's going to run a slow 40, and I think people are going to start poking holes in his film, and he's going to fall.
Me too. On to pick number 23, Houston Texans. Saw them kind of get torched in a wild card game. Deshaun Watson maybe didn't have the best time, but he didn't. DeAndre Hopkins, he was limited. He was hurt. They didn't really have any weapons, so they could go offensive line here. They don't really need any defensive help.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at corner, I can see that.
Yeah.
But I think they really need tight end here, and they're going to go out and get a very athletic guy here, a guy that go above the rim, a guy that is very athletic. I have them taking Noah Fant here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a great fit for the Texans. Gets Deshaun Watson the short intermediate pass catching guy.
Mm-hmm. Receiver.
Yeah. Doesn't block very well, but he doesn't need a block for Deshaun Watson because you got DeAndre Hopkins on the outside. You still have Will Fuller, and you got Kiki.
Yeah, Kiki Kute.
All those guys. Kiki, he's probably the best short guy that they have right now. DeAndre Hopkins, he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. He can do anything, but that's not really his specialty. Noah Fant, I feel like he's gonna be great for Deshaun Watson because he doesn't have the time that other quarterbacks do. So he has to use his legs too much. He's gonna find a great, reliable option there, and it's gonna save him some years off his career.
Yeah, you said about getting somebody to be able to get the ball to because he doesn't have very much time. Well, I have him getting somebody who can probably give him a little bit more time. I have him taking Greg Little. I think he can play left or right tackle for them and be great, just fill in and
play guard.
Automatically be better than what they have right now.
Yeah.
And right now he's not the best tackle, but I think in a few years with the right coaching, he could be the best tackle in the class. But right now he's going to help a lot, and the Texans need that help. And I like your idea of taking a tight end. They have a lot of weapons, but I think if they took a tight end, it would have to be T.J. Hawkinson. He fits Bill O'Brien's system a little bit more, but I like the pick.
All right, so Raiders pick 24. I had them take N'Keal Harry, but
N'Keal.
no, it's Keneal.
No, it's N'Keal.
N'Keal, yeah, it is N'Keal.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoops. I said what you said
What?
because I used to say it was N'Keal and you used to say it was Keneal.
Did I?
Yeah, you used to say Keneal. I
Oh.
used to say N'Keal.
Oh.
I had to correct you, and now I'm talking like you.
Oh.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, I had him, but I've been hearing a lot of talks about this one guy. He's also a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's been rising up boards apparently in the NFL, and he's a proven winner. Wide receiver out of Ohio State, Paris Campbell.
Okay.
I feel like this guy is going to be a better fit than Nikhil, because Nikhil, he's slow. Raiders, they need a lot. They need a lot more than some slow weapon on the outside that can be a red zone threat. They don't need a red zone threat right now. They need somebody that can do it all. They need another Amari Cooper from the Cowboys, not from the Raiders. They need a Cowboys Amari Cooper. I feel like Paris Campbell, he can go in and be that for them. He's great. He's got good hands, good size, can run great routes. He's a great day one starter, wide receiver. I've been saying day one starter, but that's what he is.
That's what you're going to get with a lot of these guys in this draft. It's very solid draft class all around. Maybe not at the quarterback position like everyone wants to see. So everyone says it's a weak quarterback draft class, and then everyone just says, then everyone just says it's a bad class. But it's a very, very solid draft class this year that we have. And to hate on N'Keal Harry a little bit more, I think he's going to be a little Laquan Treadwell, honestly.
Yeah, he has the characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't show the effort.
Yeah.
That I want to see out of him. Sure, he can take a screen.
Yeah. I'm going to be looking pretty stupid if he becomes something, but I don't have any faith in him. But
if he runs a fast 40, though, we will change our opinions on him. Probably.
Maybe.
I will.
I might. But yeah, Paris Campbell, I think it could be a really good pick. I think he's just a fast guy. I don't think he's all that great, but like you said, he's rising up boards, and I don't really see it, but we'll see as we go further into
Michael
this.
Thomas 2.0, baby.
No.
Last time we had
Paris Campbell runs like a 4.3. Michael Thomas runs like a 4.6. Their play styles aren't similar either. But on to the pick. I have the Raiders taking Montez Sweat. So we're going to get two new defensive ends. John Gruden complained all year that he didn't have any pass rush. Now they got it. They got Montez Sweat and Nick Bosa, two rookies, defensive ends coming off the edge to make plays for the Raiders and pressure the opposing quarterback.
All right. On to the next pick.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia Eagles are up next. I don't think J.J. staying.
Okay.
So what does that spell for the Eagles?
Josh Adams and Corey Clement.
Not Le'Veon Bell.
Definitely not.
They're not going to be able to bring in Le'Veon Bell.
They can't.
They're going to whiff on that. They're going to regret this decision to let J.J. walk because he got injured this year. So I feel like they're going to go out in this draft. They're going to go get a guy that a lot of people are comparing to Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
He's very explosive out of the backfield, and I think they're going to go and get Josh Jacobs from Alabama.
Okay.
It's a great guy. I think he's going to run a great 40 time. He's very agile, so watch out for his 20-yard shuttle. That will probably be the biggest stat.
Yeah.
The best time overall. Best.
It'll be the best time at the combine.
I wouldn't say that, but he's a great athlete.
All right.
Let's just leave it at that.
Is that all you have to say?
That's all I gotta say.
All right, for the Eagles, they're going to keep it in city. They're going to take Rock Ya-Sin, the cornerback out of Temple University. He's a big, tall guy, 6'2", like 190. He's a perfect Jim Schwartz cornerback. I know Avonte Maddox stepped up late. I know Trayvon LeBlanc stepped up late. Ronald Darby was pretty good, but he's going to walk, and I do think they're going to make a push at Le'Veon Bell, so they're probably going to let him walk. And Rock Ya-Sin, he's going to be someone who can step in, and I think he can step in and make plays for them in their system that's very zone heavy.
Yeah, it could be a reach, but it's in city. They've seen him play every Saturday at home. They need corner help like it showed last year. They got beat too much. They got beat deep. You got Jalen Mills still. He isn't really what they probably drafted him to be. They need this guy.
Yeah,
they need a physical corner.
As much as I hate Philadelphia and their fans, if there's anything I can say, they're very prideful in their city, and to get a guy who was, I'm pretty sure, born and raised in Philadelphia, then played in Temple, for him to play for the Eagles, I think the fan base would be very much behind that move.
All right, on to the next pick. Colts at 26. I have them going corner here. I
Mhm.
have them going DeAndre Baker out of Georgia. I feel like he's. It's not really a position of desperate need, but it is a position of need. They need to fill this role for the secondary. Secondary probably could have done better against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Patrick Mahomes pretty much light these guys up. Couldn't really do anything. They need this help, and DeAndre Baker, he's gonna be a solid starter in this league. And that's his floor. His floor is a solid starter. He's a little slow, but
I think he's going to surprise people with his 40.
if he does run a good combine, he may rise up draft boards, and you never know. You never know with guys out of Georgia.
Yeah. I have the Colts taking Jeffrey Simmons, and he's a defensive lineman out of Mississippi State that is right up there with Quinn Williams and Rashawn Gary and Ed Oliver at being one of the top defensive linemen in this draft. But he has a lot of off-field, and I think he's going to fall. And you have him falling
To the second round.
to the second round, and so I think the Colts are taking a little bit of a risk here, but their owner has some off field too, so maybe they'll be the ones to do it. He's a great player, and it's a need, and it just seems like a pretty good fit, and I feel like they have a pretty good culture going on there, and great player. So
Yeah, certainly he's a great player, but like you said, the off the field issues, they could become a problem.
Mhm.
But
a
Indianapolis,
couple DUIs,
Frank Reich, I feel like he's going to be able to contain
yeah,
that personality.
influence him in a positive way.
On to the next Raiders pick
Mhm.
at 27. I have them going offensive tackle here. I have them going with Yanni Kajust out of West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like they're gonna be more of a pass happy offenses this next season. They don't really have the tools to run the ball as much. They've been relying on Derek Carr so much. He got sacked too many times last year, the most in the NFL by a wide margin.
Mhm.
They got to go in and get somebody that's pass protected a lot in his career. That's Yanni for you. He's gonna be able to protect Derek Carr, maybe just like he protected Will Grier. Will Grier may be a little similar to Derek Carr. He's got the traits.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see a little bit of the revive of Derek Carr after they draft Yadni and Harris Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, Yanni Kajust, he could be a pretty good tackle. He's never going to be a top 10 tackle in the league, and I don't think he's ever going to be a terrible tackle, but I think he's somebody that you draft in 5 years
Jake
from now.
Matthews.
Maybe a little worse. I think he's someone that you draft in 5 years from now, you're kind of thinking of maybe we should get somebody else or move this guy to a different position on the line. I love Yanni Kajus. He did a lot of great things for WVU. I just don't see the translation to the pros. But I have the Raiders taking Devin Bush, and this is a Gruden grinder, like you said. He's got that attitude. He's got the physicality. He's got everything that screams Raiders to me, and they need a linebacker and they need front seven help.
They need that desperately.
Yeah, so I have them going all front seven in this draft, and I expect it to be a immediate impact. They can focus on the offense and free agency. John Gruden, he seems to be a guy who likes
Loves the draft.
He likes the veterans on the offensive side of the ball, and they'll find a running back who can fill in.
Yeah, this would be a great pick for them, in my opinion.
Mhm.
They'd get a guy that can actually go out and make all the tackles for them because they couldn't play defense worth anything last year.
Yeah.
So
now they'll have a pass rush and someone to
immediate impact players. Well,
I almost had them taking Josh Jacobs, but Devin Bush, he's a Raiders guy.
yeah. Well,
He smells like a Raider.
now onto the Los Angeles Chargers.
Mhm.
They don't really need anything right now. They're pretty stacked at every position, but you see all these guys on their team. You say, what do you need? They need corner, maybe.
Not really.
They need safety. They got Derwin James.
Yeah.
Offensive line, it's formidable. Phillip Rivers, maybe they go quarterback, draft for the future, save a guy, Patrick Mahomes a guy,
Yeah.
maybe.
Mm.
Melvin Ingram, not Melvin Ingram. Melvin Gordon,
Yeah.
he's not going anywhere, and your wide receiver core is stacked. Hunter Henry's going to be back healthy. I think they go and get an edge rusher. Might as well get less pressure off Melvin Ingram so he doesn't have to play as many snaps. 'Cause he's getting up there in age a little bit.
Joey Bosa's a guy who can move around the D line a lot.
Joey Bosa got hurt last year.
Mhm.
You need some depth on this defensive line. I think Brian Burns out of Florida State would be a great fit here. He's long, he's athletic, and he doesn't need to play every down. He's a guy that will be situational to get guys like Melvin Ingram off. Maybe even move Melvin Ingram into the Michael Bennett role on third down, third and long.
Well, I think Joey Bosa's more likely to do that.
It doesn't. Whoever you want.
Yeah.
Put whoever you want inside. You're going to have a great pass rush there, and you're going to be able to get after the quarterback, just like you needed to against the Patriots.
Mhm.
Because Tom Brady, he got the ball out quick.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, it wasn't. That's not really a need for the Chargers, but like you said, what really is a need for the Chargers? But it opens up a lot of options for them, and it opens up a very deadly nickel package for them and Gus Bradley to play around with. But that being said, I have them taking Deontay Thompson.
Another safety.
Yeah, you said about Derwin James. He's great. He plays strong safety, and then at free safety they have Jaleel Adai and
Adrian Phillips.
Trey Boston.
Oh,
Yeah,
and Adrian Phillips.
he mixes in it strong.
Yeah, 4 great safeties.
Well, I think that you cut one of those safeties, save a little cap room, and go fill something else with that, because Deontay Thompson and Derwin James could be Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas
You're already calling it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it could be very, very great Hall of Fame level players, and that could be a great safety tandem for them for the next 10 years, because both of those players are amazing, in my opinion. Derwin James is obviously amazing, but I think Deontay Thompson is going to be a very, very, very good player.
Yeah, it'd be a great value pick for sure. You
Mhm.
see great safety fall into the late 20s,
Yeah.
almost in the 2nd round. That's a steal for the Chargers
Yeah.
going forward. But now it's on to number 28. Chiefs are up. I have them going corner right now. Guy out of Clemson played pretty well in the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
They need corner help. The defense needed to save last against the Patriots. They couldn't stop Tom Brady worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and get a ball hawk. Guy that can lock a guy down. Play man-to-man. Stick on a guy. Great. I think he's going to be a great role player on this team. Maybe not a great... He's not going to turn into a star in my opinion, but he's going to be like a Ronald Darby in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I see out of getting Trayvon Mullen.
Well, there's reports that they're actually going to go and get Ronald Darby.
Really?
But in the case that they don't, I have them taking Amani Oruwariye out of Penn State, who people aren't really talking about right now, but I think they need to be, because he's a tall, athletic, long, lanky cornerback who can lock down man-to-man great, and in zone he's a ball hawk. And he's got the versatility and the knowledge to be able to pick and choose when he needs to do what. And I think he's going to be a very, very good player for the Chiefs, and he's going to fit perfectly into this Chiefs defense.
Yeah, he definitely could. Tall corners that are physical on the whenever they press
Yeah.
are very sought after in this league,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be a great fit for them.
Yeah.
Well, now on to pick 30.
Yep.
We actually have the same player going here.
Oh, do we?
We do.
Ah.
Great minds do think alike.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah. We have 3 picks that are the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Josh Allen. Then it was Nasir Adderley. Well, that just gave that up. My bad. And there was one more. Who else was it? Dwayne Haskins. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like Trent said before I could say it, we have a safety going to the Packers out of Delaware. It's Nasir Adderley. He's a great free safety.
Yeah.
I mean, Packers, they got rid of HaHa. They don't really have anybody else play strong safety. I don't even know who their safety is.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how irrelevant the Packers safeties are. And
Wait, didn't they move Devon House to safety or something?
maybe Tramon Williams.
Oh yeah, that's who it was.
I don't even know who they
Yeah.
have. They
It's
desperately need safety help. You saw in week 2, Stephon Diggs got over the top,
Mm-hmm.
and that's whenever they had
Yeah.
beat guys on double moves. Safety didn't know what he was doing. Scored a touchdown late in that game. Really propelled the Vikings to get that tie, but it didn't really help them get
Yeah, Nasir Adderley, there's going to be questions about the level of competition, so he's going to have a pretty good combine because, whenever there's level of competition issues, you can see their ability to read the defense and do everything mentally, no matter what competition it is, but it's more like a question of the athleticism, so he's going to just have a solid combine. He doesn't have to show out, he just has to,
do what he has to do.
yeah, he's just average and he's going to be fine, and I think he's very Malik Hooker-like, and that he's going to be a center fielder and be able to go out and make plays.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I feel like if the Packers do draft him, their safety grade will go up tremendously,
Yeah.
and they won't have as many problems in the back end. But to go off of that, it's on to the Rams now, and I just looked again, and we have the same player again. We have Mac Wilson out of Alabama,
Yeah.
and I'll let you talk about this guy.
Yeah, this is obviously a big need for the Rams. Their linebacker core is already pretty bad, and they're talking about cutting Mark Barron to be able to afford to keep the Marcus Joyner. And obviously,
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
you have to do that because Marcus Joyner is a great player for them, and he's someone that you need to keep around to protect Marcus Peters, basically. But yeah, Mark Barron, he's probably on the way out. Corey Littleton, he's okay, but
He's a hard hitter.
yeah, he's okay.
He's a hard hitter.
But Mac Wilson coming out of Alabama, he's not the fastest guy, but he's still a sideline to sideline guy. He knows how to play
Fills
the run.
gaps, yeah. Fills gaps
Yeah,
well.
he knows how to play the run.
It's
He's coming
hard.
out of Alabama. He knows what to do, and he's good in coverage. And that's something that Devin Bush can't say. And Devin White is as great as he is. He's a little shaky in coverage. Mac Wilson is probably the best of these top linebackers, and he's going to be great for the Rams and offer a lot of help for this team.
Yeah, he's gonna bring in a lot of boom power there.
Mhm.
He can lay the hit stick on somebody, and he's very smart. And like you said, he's from Alabama. He's a winner.
Yeah.
It's what the Rams need. I think he's gonna be able to buy into whatever Sean McVay wants him to buy into.
Yeah, it's going to be a big change going from Nick Saban to Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, who's always in your face, and Sean McVay,
Well,
who's
Wade
the
Phillips.
nice. Yeah, true. But Nick Saban, he's always in your face, and Sean McVay is regarded as one of the nicest coaches in the NFL.
Yeah. Now we're on to the final pick in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl champs,
Yep.
New England Patriots. We didn't call that, but I was rooting for them. We both have tight ends going here.
All right.
Not the same tight ends.
Yeah, I think I know who yours is.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got tight ends from the same school,
But different guys.
different guys. My guys already went that Trent has picked, but I have T.J. Hawkinson going here.
Mhm.
I feel like he would be the perfect fit to replace Rob Gronkowski.
Mhm.
He's basically he's basically George Kittle,
Yeah.
but
Who's a Rob Gronkowski altercation.
who's a baby Gronk.
Yeah.
And I feel like if T.J. Hawkinson goes here, Patriots, they're going nuts right now.
Mhm.
They're ecstatic. They got a great guy that can go and help Tom Brady out immediately.
Yeah.
He's a great short weapon. He's got great hands, and he has speed. Rob Gronkowski, he's lost his legs. TJ, he's fresh body. He hasn't endured too many hits
Yeah.
in his career because Noah Fant has been there as well, so they haven't really used him up that much. So he's great potential, and I love this pick for the Patriots.
Yeah, like you said about T.J. Hawkinson and not having a lot of hits and great potential. They went to the same school, so same thing for him. He's fresh and he has great potential. We haven't seen the best of what he can
He's
do
more
yet.
athletic.
Yeah, he's more athletic. He's not
The
as
guy
good
that
of a blocker.
the guy that you're about to say.
Yeah, I have Noah Fant and Robert Gronkowski. He's most likely retiring, but even if he doesn't, then Noah Fant can play.
Yeah.
Noah Fant can play right alongside him. Ever since Aaron Hernandez had his
Issues.
situations, Patriots fans were saying, all right, who's going to fill in? Who's going to fill in? You had Martellus Bennett for a year. He wasn't exactly the same, but he was pretty good. but the Patriots have always looked to
Dwayne
use.
Allen.
Yeah, Dwayne Allen. Yeah. But the Patriots have always looked to use 2 tight ends, and whether Gronk is gone or not, you need weapons. That was very, very clear throughout the playoffs. Even though they won the Super Bowl.
Well, regular season.
Yeah.
They didn't need to show their weapons as much in the playoffs because Tom Brady just picked apart these offenses and they were able to run the ball amazingly. Sony Michel is healthy. They had all their backs that they needed, and they were able to get those guys out in space. And the run blockings were amazing.
Yeah.
If you saw the Super Bowl,
Yeah, but they very, very clearly need
another weapon on the wall.
Yeah, they need another weapon. I almost had him take N'Keal Harry, but then I was like, wait, Noah Fant's perfect because Noah Fant is a better N'Keal Harry, and he tries all the time. That's the type of player you're gonna get. He's athletic, fast, he can make plays, and whether Gronk is there or not, he's gonna be a great addition to this offense. And if Gronk does retire, the Patriots are smart enough to get someone else in there who can help with the blocking responsibilities.
That's why I have him going with TJ.
Yeah.
I feel like TJ is the better fit, and that's who they're
He's
going
the
to
better fit if Gronk leaves. If Gronk doesn't leave, Noah Fant's better fit.
But what happens when Gronk retires?
Bringing in someone else.
Because-
There's plenty of tight ends who
Because
can block.
Gronk,
There's plenty of tight ends who can block in this league. There are not a lot of tight ends who can do what Noah Fant can do.
but there's not a lot of tight ends that can do what Gronk can do. And TJ Hawkinson is basically what Gronk can do. As you saw in the Super Bowl, they used Gronkowski and the running backs to seal the edges and really let double teams happen on the interior with Donald and Sue.
Yeah.
And they're gonna need a guy that can do that again. Maybe not have a running back in and be able to go 5 wide
Mm-hmm.
and keep those 2 tight ends there. Seal off the edges. Have the guards were great. Get double teams
Yeah.
on whoever you have on the inside because they're not going to get past these guys on the inside. Joe Thuney and Shaq Mason.
Yeah.
They're great guards, and David Andrews, he's a great center, and he's going to help out one of the 2. Great. You have Trent Brown and who's the right tackle?
Isaiah Wynn, Marcus Cannon, they kind of flip flop.
Yeah. You're going to have plenty of depth on the offensive line,
Mhm.
plenty of help, and that's what Tom Brady's going to need.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense, but I think that Josh McDaniels is looking at Noah Fant. He's like, hey, I need something explosive, and
He said, "I want sexy."
yeah, Noah Fant can make
Sexy
plays,
back.
and you get Noah Fant on a cornerback. He can make plays downfield because
Yeah.
he's got over the rim ability to go up
Ingram.
and make plays, and then you get him on a linebacker, he's getting burnt. He's got big playability. He's got the ability to go out and be a difference maker day 1 for the Patriots.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for NFL Mock Draft 1.0. Turn on the post notifications for our next video. Like the video, subscribe.
Yeah, and keep in mind this is gonna change a lot throughout the draft.
Yeah, combine
we haven't even gotten into combine.
Pro days.
Yeah, pro days. Who knows who's gonna get in
Free
trouble?
agency.
Yeah, there's a lot is gonna change.
A lot can happen,
Mhm.
but this is just our initial thoughts. And
Half these quarterbacks might not even be going in the first round after free agency.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well,